Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land on this hashtag Thought Thursday. We are celebrating empowerment with Luciano, Layne in the latest issue of Alpha Magazine. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
So congratulations, gorgeous cover, and there's a dual cover front and back,
Yes.
right?
Oh, nice.
All right, so tell us who's gracing the covers this
Okay,
issue.
so this time we have Luke James and we have Ro James.
Very
Nice.
cool.
Yeah.
The images are so powerful.
yeah.
I love the name. I mean, I definitely identify as an alpha. But what does it mean? But what does it mean to you?
From a man's perspective or on a woman?
I don't know. You.
Both.
Okay. When I think about an alpha man, I think about not more so of the masculine side of it, more so of the strategicness, the calculated thought process, the how far he's willing to go and being driven to going to the next level. And kind of the same way with a woman, but the difference between an alpha female and an alpha male, an alpha female can have similar traits to an alpha man, but she's still an omega. She just has her position that's going to be respected top notch as a boss.
Ooh.
I like that. Alpha Omega.
Boss mindset right there. Love that.
Yeah.
So tell us about what your mission is with this magazine.
Well, with the men's issue, I wanted to do something more like a men's empowerment and kind of showcase diversity. But just, I think when it comes to the way men are now, the way we're presented, a lot of women are not educated to these days to understand that there's a different type of breed of men, like successful men. And I think a lot of those guys, they get kind of slept on. So it's kind of like giving those guys a spotlight. And for the women's edition, it's more so the same. When it comes to women, it's a little bit more tricky because it's hard for women to really come together and work together. So it's like, we wanted to do something where we could do multiple covers and everybody can get showcased it, but give everybody the same trait and the same respect and stuff like that.
So, Luciano, who have been some of the people who have truly empowered you personally?
Personally, well, for sure, my children. My children are very, they inspire me every day. My son is 4, his name is Kingston, my daughter's Acacia. So my children are my biggest influence because when you have children, it's like your brain gets to rattling on so many thoughts. So, how far you want to go and the lessons and most importantly, the legacy that you really want to leave behind for them. So my children are, my biggest inspiration. But I think I'm inspired by people. I like to see people happy. It's all about good vibes, good energy. And I just think that the vibration from energy kind of just flows. So, I can meet a person that just has a positive mindset and they might inspire me to make my next article, So it's similar like that.
Have you always been that way, focused on positivity, or was there a moment in time where you shifted from something that was real hard and dramatic and negative to a positive attitude?
Well, you know what? I have to thank my grandmother for that. I've always been a positive individual.
Yeah.
I'm not really easily influenced. So I've always been pretty focused. Even for my social medias, I don't really post negative content. So yeah, I'm a very positive person.
We're gonna be friends, man. I like that. I can appreciate that for sure.
Yeah. From a spiritual perspective, alpha is like what is the consciousness that decides, that creates, and then omega is what is created and it comes back in like a flow, right?
Right.
And I think it's really important to showcase, and I'm curious to know how you're picking your people. Like, are these people, for me, it's like, for me, the great alphas are the ones that are creating and creating harmony, creating innovation, creating things that have not been created, but are also always for the highest good.
Right.
How are you picking your people? You know what I mean?
Oh, honestly, it was so crazy because I'll say this: when I started to do the women's edition, it wasn't going to be a women's empowerment magazine. It was going to just be a high fashion magazine. And I was having a conversation with my grandmother, and we were talking about it. And my family was basically saying, pick something that's different. Everybody's got a fashion magazine, has something that has value that can, represent your legacy. So the women's empowerment for me was like really important because I wanted to showcase women of all ages, different shades, different tones, and bringing them together where it's supposed to be a support group. And like, when it comes to, let's say you meet a woman that is not empowerment, and there are women that are around her, I feel like instead of putting her down, we should like kind of encourage her and uplift her and like put her in front of those type of women. So if I put women in my magazine that don't represent women's empowerment, being around women who are, it's kind of like moving in the right direction. So that's what I want to do.
So tell everyone where they can get the latest issue of Alpha.
Oh, man, you guys can get it from alphamagazines.com. We're doing it exclusively there. I want to do I want to touch, I'm going to touch more into like children soon, kind of getting into those things soon. But we got a lot of big plans, a big media thing going on. So yeah, I definitely want to. It's a team. It's not just me. It's a team. I got my designer, editor, Ruben Stunner. We have our headquarters in Houston. I got my COO, Brian Frost. I got Elise Kirkland. She's my CFO. I mean, I have a full-fledged team. So like, it's really a chain command. So yes.
We got a bunch of alphas. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Yes,
much for
thank you
everything
so much.
you're
We're
doing.
really excited to be included and to have such an exclusive
Oh,
interview.
yeah.
Thank
Thank
you for
you.
the opportunity. Stay tuned. We'll be back tomorrow on Good Morning La La Land.